What would you do if you found your missing sister's phone in a pawn shop 6 months after she disappeared? One person did exactly that, and what they found hidden in the deleted data would expose a workplace predator and solve a murder that police had given up on. My sister Sarah disappeared 6 months ago. She was 23, had just graduated college, and was working her first job at a marketing firm downtown. One day, she just didn't come home from work. Her car was found in the office parking garage, keys still in the ignition, purse on the passenger seat. But her phone was never found. The police investigated for weeks but had no leads, no witnesses, no camera footage that helped, no digital trail after 6 p.m. that Tuesday. Sarah had texted me at 5:47 p.m. saying she was leaving work soon. That was the last anyone heard from her. I've been searching for her ever since. I've put up flyers, organized search parties, hired a private investigator with money I didn't have. Nothing. It's like she vanished into thin air. Yesterday, I was walking past a pawn shop I'd never noticed before in a sketchy part of town. Something made me go inside. Maybe desperation, maybe just the need to do something. I was looking through their electronics when I saw it. Sarah's phone. I knew it immediately. Same model as mine, but with a distinctive crack across the back that she got when she dropped it at our cousin's wedding 3 months before she disappeared. My hands were shaking when I asked the clerk about it. He said someone had brought it in about 4 months ago, roughly 2 months after Sarah went missing. He couldn't remember much about the person, just that they had several phones to sell and seemed nervous. I bought the phone immediately. Even though the clerk said it had been factory reset and wouldn't have any data. But I had to try. When I got home, I took it to this tech repair guy I know who's really good with data recovery. It took him 2 days, but he managed to pull some fragments of deleted data from the phone's memory. What he found made me sick. Most of the photos and messages were corrupted, but there were fragments of text conversations from the day Sarah disappeared. The messages were between Sarah and someone saved in her contacts as J. Work. The fragments I could read were terrifying. Sarah, I can't keep doing this. Jay, you don't have a choice. Sarah, I'm going to tell someone. Jay, bad idea. Remember what happened to? Message corrupted. Sarah, meet me after work. Parking garage level 3. Jay, this ends today. There were also partial GPS coordinates in her phone's location history that evening, coordinates that led to an abandoned warehouse about 30 miles outside the city. I wanted to go to the police immediately, but my tech friend warned me that the data recovery might not be admissible in court since it was obtained after the phone was sold. He suggested I gather more evidence. So I did something stupid. I drove to that warehouse. The place was exactly what you'd expect: broken windows, graffiti, overgrown weeds. But in one of the back rooms, I found something that made my blood freeze. There were signs that someone had been held there recently. Zip ties cut and left on the floor, a chair positioned in the center of the room, and scratches in the dirt that looked like someone had been dragging their feet. But the most damning thing was what I found buried under some debris in the corner. Sarah's work ID badge and one of her earrings. I called the police immediately. They're investigating now, and they've reopened Sarah's case as a potential homicide. They're looking into her coworkers, particularly anyone with the initial J. Here's the thing that's been eating at me. Sarah never mentioned having problems at work. She seemed to love her job, was excited about her future there. But now I'm wondering what was really going on in those last few weeks before she disappeared. The private investigator I hired has been looking into Sarah's workplace. Turns out there had been several complaints filed with HR in the months before Sarah disappeared. Complaints about sexual harassment and inappropriate behavior by a manager named Jason Kellner. All the complaints were dismissed or the complainants left the company. Jason Kellner. J. Work. The police are questioning him today. I don't know what they'll find, but I have a terrible feeling that Sarah tried to stand up to someone in a position of power, and it cost her everything. I keep thinking about that last text she sent me. Leaving work soon. She probably thought she was just going to have a difficult conversation with her boss. She had no idea she was walking into a trap. Update. The police arrested Jason Kellner this morning. They found more evidence at the warehouse, including Sarah's DNA. They're still searching for her, but the detective told me to prepare for the worst. At least, now we might finally get answers. Update 2. They found Sarah. I can't write much more right now, but she's been gone for 6 months. Jason Kellner has confessed to killing her after she threatened to report him to the police for sexual assault. The pawn shop owner identified him from a photo lineup. Apparently, he was memorable because he was sweating profusely and kept looking over his shoulder when he sold the phones. Thank you to everyone who shared this story. Sarah deserved justice, and now she's going to get it.